Cherice Moralez was never one to stand back and watch things happen. Nicknamed Cherry as a baby, she lived her life unapologetically. After her parents split up, Cherry divided her time between two homes. She was a fun-loving 14-year-old when she embarked on her freshman year in high school. Her grades didn't always reflect her true abilities, especially if given an assignment she found boring, but those who knew Cherry described her as an intelligent, confident and strong-willed young woman. Her business teacher took a particular interest in her. Stacey Rambold was a middle-aged business teacher at Billings Senior High School. Cherry Moralez quickly became the focus of his attention, as he seemed genuinely interested in helping her. He divulged his problems to the 14-year-old in order to gain her trust. It was a predatory move that would make the teen vulnerable and allow Rambold to further manipulate the situation. Rambold knew that the 14-year-old girl was no match emotionally nor mentally for his grooming tactics. A sexual relationship developed and lasted for several months. Rambold's lack of decency made his own needs more important than the harm he was causing Cherry Moralez. In fact, he had a history of concerning behavior dating back to 2004. It was then the business teacher received a warning about inappropriately touching female students. That didn't stop him from initiating his first sexual encounter with Cherry in his school office. But it all crumbled when she confided the relationship to a member of her church group. Once Cherry's mom learned what had been happening, she immediately notified authorities.
Misdemeanor site.
10-4-12.
She then remembered seeing the name Stacey in her daughter's phone on a prior occasion, at the time assuming Stacey was a girl Cherry knew from school. It was clear that Stacey Rambold had taken advantage of a young, unassuming teenage girl who mistook his kindness towards her as being genuine concern. The reality was that Rambold was a predator with a history of inappropriate advances towards female students. When the school learned of the relationship, Rambold's teaching career came to an end. But it was only the beginning of hell for Cherry. She was ostracized by her peers once word got out that she had been in a relationship with her teacher. She found herself completely alone, without friends, and her reputation being torn apart. Things worsened when Rambold was arrested and charged with rape. Cherry's life took a downward spiral in the months leading up to Rambold's trial. In her police interview, Cherry spoke in depth about their encounters, giving the impression that the sexual relationship had not been forced. However, Montana law had been written with clear wording that children 16 and under could not give consent to having sex with an adult. As a result, the former business teacher was charged with rape and faced up to 20 years in prison. The once vivacious teenager was now withdrawn. The toll of the case weighed heavily on her mentally and emotionally. It was difficult for her loved ones to see Cherry more despondent in the months and years after news of the inappropriate relationship with Rambold surfaced. Although she wanted normalcy, she knew that was impossible given the circumstances. She also faced the possibility of testifying in court, which likely added more pressure in an already stressful situation.
No, 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 no! Ah! Ah! Ah!
Cherice Moralez's suicide shed light on the often deadly impact of sex crimes, victim shaming, and fighting for justice. This became more evident during the trial, when the presiding judge concluded that Cheri was complicit in her relationship with her 48-year-old teacher. Judge Baugh went further to say that while Cheri's chronological age was 14, her words and actions made her seem much older. As he reasoned, the sexual relationship between Cheri and Rambold was not forced nor violent. To support his claim, Judge Baugh used Cheri's police interview to emphasize her willingness to engage with the older man. He seemed to be sympathetic towards Rambold, citing the suffering he'd already endured losing his job, his wife, his teaching license, and his house. He faced backlash not only for his inappropriate comments about the victim but his refusal to follow state law and sentencing guidelines in this case, ultimately ordering the predator to spend 30 days in jail.
This was to be a moment of justice. Teacher Stacey Rambold was charged with raping his student.
Never okay to blame a victim, and I think the attention that this case has gotten has sort of put that issue at the forefront. It's never okay to blame a victim.
After pressure from the public and advocacy groups, Judge Baugh was publicly censured for his actions in the case. But most importantly, there was finally justice for Cherice. The Montana Supreme Court resentenced Stacey Rambold to 10 years in prison, leaning heavily on the idea that justice delayed is not justice denied.